Now, it's all of your teams, you want to be in team section?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
It's,
because it won't come up in Outlook.
yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff in yours.
I just thought it was,
You know, I think I can turn it on
Yeah,
too.
it's a radio button.
I
in the-
can turn it on.
oh, there it is.
I
Find
can,
it?
I'll actually turn it on during part of the presentation.
It's because it's that's why so it's not part of I do the record and transcribe like automatically
Yeah.
when I record, but yes.
Okay, so what did I all need open? Teams open. The Teams needs to be demo account. Is how you doing? Why are you limping?
Why are you limping?
I pulled my ankle.
Aw.
Fucking normal.
Come on. Don't you know you're not supposed to like do this hop, skip, jump as you walk?
You were doing that new Facebook where you're like making a weird face when you're like you're jumping in place and walking.
I was walking with we were side by side and you didn't fit on the sidewalk, and so I was walking half on, half on the grass.
Yeah.
And we were looking at a pretty house, and the sidewalk was broken, and my just fell right off. I was going to a concert tomorrow too, but I don't think tickets. I'm not
Wow.
gonna have.
What's the what were you gonna see? Hi, everybody. Can everybody hear me online? Can somebody give me a thumbs
Yes.
up, maybe? Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, Mary, thank you. Can you see my screen? I should be sharing a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes. Project Management Reimagined with Microsoft 365 and AI.
It is starting out good. Love it. Okay. I'm gonna wait. Becky isn't in the room yet. I figure like since this is her show, I'm gonna wait for her to show up here. But I appreciate everybody being online on time. So this is awesome. It's completely up to you if you guys want to turn on your camera, turn off your camera. You won't be on the big screen. I always hate that when I'm remote and you're on camera and then all of a sudden you're the 5-foot person in the room. So I don't have you on camera, but that's cool. You can do whatever you want there. So Becky, do we want to get started? It's 9 o'clock.
Maybe we minutes to want to see who's online?
Yeah, so we have Trin and we have Kim and Angela and Mary and Ariel. So
Would they like to introduce themselves? I don't know.
yeah, I think that will be good. You know, this is a round table. So we are definitely going to be having open discussion, right? Because I can be pretty dynamic, but I can also be pretty boring. So this isn't going to be about just me talking with you. It's about us talking together. So if that's okay, why don't we go ahead and if the people online would like to introduce themselves and maybe tell me a little bit about how you manage projects today.
My name's Mary Ozumkowski. I'm with Lake Cable, and I have to admit, I use spreadsheets. I need a more efficient way
Well,
to
good.
track projects.
Good. Well, good, Mary. Lake Cable. I know you guys. So that's awesome. Yeah, we will definitely show you different versions of Planner. A very basic one that you can use for like everyday task. And then if you have project managers within your organization, we'll show you some more sophisticated planners as well. Okay, so that's awesome. Could I have somebody else online give an intro?
Hi, I'm trained with Global Gateway, and yeah, we are afraid for we have our transportation management system internally, so we mostly manage our shipment through that system. But other than that, yes, we still using spreadsheet like everyone else. Yeah, and I'm kind of curious with today roundtable and see what else we can learn from Microsoft 365 offer currently. And we also, so just a quick heads up that I may have to leave around 10 because I have a sale rep that gonna have visits. So I gonna just want to give everyone a heads up.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah, thank you.
I wouldn't have bored you and you wouldn't have left on purpose. Perfect. But yeah, you know, we are going to talk not just about Planner today, but about the Microsoft 365 ecosystem completely. So we'll talk about other AI tools that are inside of that that's going to help with project management. Thank you very much. Kim, how about you? Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. Kim Lewis with Plucker Construction. We use kind of a variety of things as far as project management goes. Sometimes it's based on the owner and the engineer. Sometimes it's what we want. We use a lot of spreadsheets. We use Teams. So yeah, I just want to see what's new and if there's anything I'm missing out on.
Perfect. Perfect. All
Thank
right. Thank you. Angela, how about you? I'm just kind of going along my screen here. So Angela?
Hi, I'm Angela Durant. I work for McCarthy Building Companies in a quality assurance role. Right now, we are using a whole bunch of different applications for project management. I've dabbled in Planner. We work with Monday.com. A lot of people are in Smartsheets or on spreadsheets. And then we have, our various CRMs and all kinds of different applications that we have inside the business. So, like I said, I've dabbled in Planner before, but I'm excited to get a little more familiarized with it and see what else it has to offer.
That's great. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, I understand. There are that whole shadow IT thing that goes on and people go find their own applications. So I get where there can be multiple different applications that are not maybe Microsoft based. So the key thing is that Microsoft does have all of these other tools that come along with the license that you have. And then you can purchase other license to get more advanced. And we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm not a license expert, but we'll touch on that today. And then Ariel, I think you were the last one online for the introduction.
You are on mute, Ariel, if you try to say.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ariel, and I work for Gateway Logistic as Trend. So for project management, so if it's for shipment, we use our TMS system. But like if it's for like internal project, I don't think we use like any of the software. Maybe just spreadsheet, I think. So that's why I came here today to hear more about it.
Perfect, perfect. That sounds awesome. Okay, so the room is not a Teams room, so which means it doesn't have big microphones within the room. So I'm going to do this. Rob, would you want to go ahead and give an introduction for yourself? And then if the people online can hear Rob, give me a thumbs up so I know that.
Okay, so my name is Rob Schmidt. I work for Washington University in St. Louis. I support Microsoft 365. And I get asked questions about the different tools, how they all fit together, which ones should people use when we do get people purchase the P3 and P5 licenses.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, which tool to use.
Right.
Question of the day.
Yeah.
There are so many.
Yeah.
So, all right, Cheryl, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Chief Officer for HCBT, which is probably not a name that anyone recognizes here. My firm is based in Los Angeles, so I work remotely for them from St. Louis. We're working on a project with Savvy right now to redesign our intranet. And so when this invite came out, I was like, oh, wow, I think this would be really beneficial to kind of learn a little bit more about the Microsoft tools. And because it's becoming apparent that a lot of people in our organization don't know a lot about the different tools and how to use them. So I'm excited to learn look at it.
Good, good. And we just had a conversation about how Copilot can make a difference in your intranet, right? And so a lot of today, when we talk about Planner and how Copilot's integrated with Planner, because Copilot's going to be integrated with everything, our A Copilot will be not, there's just not one Copilot. There are multiple Copilots. But yeah, so happy to have you. Lee?
Hi, Sherman Lee. Sorry, I just walked in. I am executive director of a nonprofit called the Process Community, who specializes in educational types of programming. And was it why pioneer or thing?
Just an introduction.
So we started using Teams a long time ago because Microsoft has a free program for nonprofits. Mainly it's mostly free unless you want a few add-ons. And we were lucky enough to find Savvy and Becky. And they really helped us specifically. So we had a fuller engagement that helped us do things that we wanted to do in terms of power, automate, and so forth. And we are relatively early adopters, so we knew right away we wanted to buy the Copilot license. And we did, and now Becky is helping us with our intranet. And what's interesting is that, for example, Teams, everything is moving so quickly that all of our teams were more than 2 years old. And then Becky said, oh, there are features here if you create a team newer than that. And it's really helping. So wanted to say that after we got Copilot, the number of questions we had for Becky dropped by 50 to 75%. And even though we know we can use Copilot to find some answers, it's actually great to have a human with human intelligence.
I know, I thought for a moment.
Human, oh, that's right. Good go the other way. I just realized where you got human intelligence and emotional intelligence, because there are times when we look at it and we say, we know the facts, we can craft our prompt. That you can tell us stuff like 2 years ago they changed Teams so that you can use it differently, and so I'm excited to share ideas and hear ideas.
Sherman, thank you, thank you. And you're right. Copilot is great, and it does help us become more efficient. But I'm going to steal a term that Lynn has crafted with. You always have to have the human in the loop. human in the loop, right? Because that human person using Copilot, using AI, it may, yeah, someday it may replace some of the things that we do, but it can't really ever fully replace us.
Because I'm not the one.
We have a lot of, we have a lot of 70-year-olds on the board,
Uh-huh.
and they're really, they would call it sus if they use that language.
Sus.
And so I say, you know, we use it as a tool, but anything that we publish, anything that we do needs to have, you know, and I say, it absolutely needs, we need editorial accountability, responsibility. That's the technical term. And when I say that to them, who have been publishing full bias, they're like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I think never use sus. So.
Perfect. Len, would you want to introduce?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. Can you speak up a little louder?
We started with the SharePoint project, trying to get our servers onto the cloud. Still working on that. And then this year we have really kind of pivoted to though making AI and Copilot a priority in our organization, and how can we integrate this into just what we do on a day-to-day basis. In real estate, it's been a little challenging. We do have a lot of older people that just want to do it the way they've done it, and they've been brokeraging real estate for 30 years, and they didn't need a computer to do that when they started. And so it's been a little bit challenging. I'm looking forward to just learning stuff to take back to our team in better ways to integrate this. So we rolled out Copilot to our organization about 6 weeks ago. And I can't say that it's been highly adopted, other than maybe the direct email. And so we're making progress, but and our challenge with it is authenticity. So when people use it, like, and then they crafted this amazing email or this amazing document, but feeling that they have, like, how do we give credit to something that drafted it for us, essentially, even though there is a human in the loop, like a lot of the phenomenal phrasing wasn't necessarily their work. And so that's where we're struggling with AI. Drafting.
Got it. Well, everybody starts somewhere. So if you're using it to help email, tomorrow they'll think of another way to use it. So everybody starts somewhere. All right. On this side of the room is the Savvy team. We'll start with Beth at the end. I wish I could turn the camera. Is that weird? I don't think that works. Yeah, I don't think it works out. So.
Hi guys, I'm Beth Yapko. I specialize in business process planning. So I'm usually doing the flow charts above, figuring out how to help small businesses and agencies develop and work smarter. And as a part of that, I also connect software tools with people. And today I'm here not only as a member of Becky's team, as an expert in what I do, but I'm here to learn too, because I've worked with Planner as one of the many software tools, Monday, all those that were mentioned earlier by the McCarthy folks. And today I want to learn a little bit more about what's new and how AI is integrating with Microsoft, because AI has become more and more a part of my regular job. So anytime I'm working with a C-suite group to help them work smarter, that's just an integral part, and how they do it and the rules that they apply to it become as important as any of the other tools at the table. So.
All right, Becky, you gonna turn your camera on? Yeah. Oh, you have this wonderful glow from the window.
Oh my gosh. That is really funny. Oh, gracious. Oh, that's even worse. Oh gosh. Anyhow. Can you mute your computer? Okay, got it. Hang on, we got some feedback. You just mute your speaker. Okay. Okay.
Can you turn yours on? I'm back on. I'm back.
Can you guys hear me?
Is there a thumbs up?
Yes.
We got you.
Well, I think everybody knows who I am. I'm Becky Bertram, and I just wanted to say thank you guys all for the 4 of you that came today in person. And those of you who joined online, we think that there's, in today's day and age, so many things are virtual. We appreciate the presence of you being here. But we also know we have a number of clients and people that are just not located here. And so thank you guys online for bearing with us. Our Spark rooms are outfitted for Zoom, unfortunately. So we can't use all the equipment, but maybe we've done other in-person roundtables. This is our first sort of hybrid event. So hopefully we would like to start this doing as ongoing cadence. And so we appreciate you guys, all of you doing this, and hopefully those online, the online experience will get better. But I just thank you, all of you, for taking the time to show up today, because I know it's a real investment, especially those of you in person to drive and come here, and online 2 hours out of your day is a big deal. So we take that seriously, and just want to thank you again for working with Savvy, and hopefully you get something out of helpful out of today as well.
Perfect. And then Jamie?
I should have gone before Becky, because.
It's tough act to follow.
I know, Jamie runs the show.
I don't.
Jamie.
I don't. No, I should have let Becky go last. Like wrapped it all up, so.
Is Jamie glowing?
Yeah.
She is.
Yes.
She is a little glowing, yeah.
But, I'm Jamie Spainhour. I am the executive assistant for Savvy and also business analyst. And I do all of the behind the scenes work. So I've corresponded with a lot of you, I think all of you actually, via email. And so now you can put a face to a name, for better or worse. And again, just to echo what Becky said, very excited to have you guys here. And I know within Savvy, we use Planner. I use it a lot as well. And so I'm excited to, hear Teresa's presentation, and I'm sure that I will also be learning right along with you guys. So we will be monitoring the chat, the meeting chat. So if you have questions, feel free to put it in the chat, and then we will make sure to get it addressed otherwise. And if at any point you guys can't see something or can't hear something, if you would let us know as well, that would be great.
Perfect. Talk about a hard act to follow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to keep it short. My name's Teresa, and I'm going to act as the facilitator today. I've worked with Becky for decades. I got to join her team almost a year and a half ago, if not longer. And I get to learn about new technology that comes with Microsoft 365, and I get to talk about it. And I'm like, what a job, right? And so that's what today's is. It's all about, let's figure out how Microsoft has reimagined project management and is using now, they have invested so much into Microsoft Planner and utilizing AI and Copilot and Teams, Loop, Copilot and all the Office products, all of them together. So sometimes it's overwhelming about like, oh my God, where'd that go? What do I have to do next? And so I say that because you may see me stumble, because I'll be like, oh, I know that should have went somewhere. But we'll figure it out, right? Because how great is this, right? We have construction online. We have transportation online. We have like cable manufacturer, right? We have real estate, professional service, and the not-for-profit and education. So a whole bunch of industries coming together to make this work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the presentation. Jamie, could you help me with one thing? Okay, this Word document that we printed, could you add it to the chat? So we do have a handout. I know, how old school am I? I've got paper handouts. But I am a little old school sometimes. And I am going to pass this out. We passed it out here in the room, but Jamie's going to put that document in the chat session. So you guys can all go into chat and download that file. This is just kind of a summary, but there's also a place on this document where we want you to start thinking about how you might take something away from today's meeting and talk and how you might want to apply that. Okay, so I'm going to advance my slides. So today we're going to talk about project management. Here are our learning objectives for the day, right? Talk about project management task and Microsoft 365 resources. We're going to talk about how Microsoft is changing Planner, and there's like now 3 different versions of Planner that you can have. We'll talk a little bit. We're going to show you how we use the entry-level Planner, and we're going to show you how we use the most advanced one. And then, you know, the one in the middle kind of does some of the others. All right. And then how AI is helping you and can really help you manage your work and manage the projects that you have to do. Right? Okay. So as we talk about project management, there are really 5 phases of project management. The first one is initiate, plan. The second one is plan. Third one is execute. 4th is monitor and control. And 5 is closing. When you look at a regular project management stages, these are the 5 that are often taught along the way. And so we're going to take how we use AI, we use Planner, we use Microsoft 365 in all of these phases. And today we get to create a new St. Louis themed ice cream flavor. That's our project. Okay, we're going to walk through that. Okay, phase 1. I always call them phase. It's really stage. I'm going to use those interchangeably because I can't change my thinking on that. Stage 1, initiate, right? During these initiation parts of your project management, this is when you're like going, I'm going to set up the project team. And I'm going to start talking to different stakeholders. And I need to really kind of scope out what the project is going to be, right? I might need to do a little research. I'm going to interview different stakeholders and do all of those things. The stakeholders will give us what the project is going to be about. With that, if you look at Microsoft 365 and you look at the tools that you can utilize during this phase, during this stage, you would look at like Word with Copilot, right? That can help you create your scope document. You can also use Teams meetings and the AI facilitator. That will help you when you're interviewing stakeholders and taking notes. Obviously, everybody's going to use Teams to organize your files and your collaboration, right? But I am also going to show you a new Copilot agent called Research. Anybody seen the Research agent? I've got one person, yes. Okay, it's kind of cool. I was a little like, oh, that's fun. But I like new technology and when things just like work. It's kind of cool. So we're going to show you what that new agent is going to be. Okay. So we will talk about a subject and then we're going to go into a demo. Okay. So during this demo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up our project team, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have Copilot do some research for us. We're going to use that researcher agent. Okay. So what we should be seeing, I have way too many screens open. Here's my teams. Okay, I missed it. Gonna get there. Okay, here's my team. Okay. Stop sharing. Let me share my screen. All right, now let me do. Need to go to Teams. Okay. Thank you. All right, this is my team environment. And this is a demo environment for Teams. Why is that not showing up there? Can everybody on screen? On screen, you can see it. Okay. Do.
Oh, is it like an extended?
I think so.
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, keep changes. All right, now we got it. Once again, I'm going back to Teams, and that's my Outlook. Okay, so now everybody should see Teams, correct? Okay, so everybody in the room uses Teams. Everybody, we all use Teams, right? So we're going to create a new team. What should our project name be called? Let's come, somebody give me a fun, we're creating a new St. Louis themed ice cream. I know I have creative people in here.
Ice cream. Ice cream.
Ice cream. Okay. I like this.
Yeah, I got so.
Okay, so our new team's going to be called I.Screen. Okay. We're going to make it a private team. You know, you always have to name that first channel, right? I like calling it. Okay, we're going to call it flavors. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and create this team, right? So in this Microsoft team, right, this is where we're going to put all of, nice work, awesome. We're going to go ahead and we are going to, I don't have any members because I work alone here. So I'm going to skip that. So in Teams, right, this is where we're going to create the planner, right? We're going to load files into this team. We're going to have all of our communication about this project in the post session, right? We're not gonna use email because it's an internal team. So we don't have to go to email for this, right? We can use this in Teams. So as you see, we have post session, right? And this is where we'll communicate files. This is where you're gonna upload your files that we're working on, right? But what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and create. So I'm going to click on that plus sign and I'm going to go to planner. It's going to give me my little advertisement. I'm going to click yes. I'm going to create a new plan. When I create a new plan, in my team session, in my demo, I have two options. But I said there are three flavors of planner earlier. I'll talk about that a little bit later and you'll see it on my screen. The basic is a very basic plan. It's going to give us some rows and tables and columns and things like that. This plan with Project Management Manager, this is where the AI is built into it. So if you can see it on the screen, it's got that little rocket ship on it as well. So it's a preview. This is not fully launched to everybody. I think I don't know what stage it is in, okay? But this project planner is the one that is inside Teams, okay? They also have now given us different templates. So you don't have to think or create these by yourself. They've now given us templates. So you can see we have Project Manager, right? We have those templates, and then we have basic and premium templates that you can use. I'm going to pick research because we're going to do some research on our ice cream flavors, okay? So on this, I'm going to just go ahead and use this template. And what this is going to do, sometimes this takes a while. Has anybody seen how this takes a few minutes? Okay, no?
I have not created plans from here.
Okay, All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and it's gonna take a minute, but you know what I told you? I told you that Copilot has this new research agent. And I'm gonna go to Copilot in my team session. I'm gonna let this do its work over here. If you have the paid version of Copilot, and you know you have the paid version if you have a work and a web toggle, and you have work and web, that tells you that you have a paid subscription. About 2 weeks ago, these two things just popped up. It's called analyst and researcher. So Microsoft actually built some custom agents for you and then given them to you. It's kind of cool, right? So the difference between these two agents, one of it is called analyst. The analyst will help you be a data scientist because everybody's secret dream is to be a data scientist. But actually the analyst, I was amazed. I was doing some analytics because I love spreadsheets. I kind of nerd out on spreadsheets a little bit and data and rows and columns and like, ugh, what can I find in here? But now you can load that spreadsheet up into Analyst and it will do all that analysis for you. It will understand the data. It will understand what's not quite right with it. So if there's any anomalies, I can't say that word all the time. If there's any trends, it will tell you that. And you can just talk to it and ask questions. I actually did this. I was working on a project for Becky and a different client, analyzing their SharePoint environment of 300,000 different files. And I did some analysis on my own and then this popped up. I was like, oh, I wonder what would happen if this would happen, if I threw it up in there. And it did a lot of my work in a fraction of the time.
It come to some of the same conclusions you did.
It did.
That's nice.
Yeah, like I was like saying, like, how old are what's the average file age, right? Or when was what library or what folder has the most files in it? And I had already done some of the research through pivot tables because those are cool, right? Pivot tables are cool. Okay, I'm nerding out. Okay, so that's what the data analyst does. It makes you a data scientist. It can ingest large amounts of data in from Excel. I didn't try any other format. Probably, I would think other formats could be put up there as well, right? Now, the researcher does what it says. It will research a topic for you. And it does it, wow, pretty incredible. It's writing your research paper. It's going through and it finds all the information it has. It will put that information into a nice, big, long summary document, right? That you can use. So for our example here, what should we research, right? Remember, we are creating the next best St. Louis ice cream flavor. So let's give it a prompt to do. Anybody want to help me with the prompt? If not, I can make it up. Okay.
What foods are in St. Louis?
What foods? Okay. What foods
Yeah.
are
Somebody else has it.
St. Louis famous for? I don't think that's proper English, but that's okay. I'm gonna throw it out there. What foods? What are St. Louis? What St. Louis foods are famous? Okay. What foods are what? Wow, Jesus.
Very awesome.
And what can and what would make a great ice cream flavor. And for just giggles, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump over to Mary's. Eventually, I will get there. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to go back here and I am going to copy. Can you guys hear my podium squeaking?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's not driving me nuts. Okay, what is the most popular flavor of ice cream? I'm going to throw both of those in there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit that send arrow. It's going to go out. It's going to start doing its work. Okay, and it's already like going through. It start building all of this stuff. It's going and it's continuing to write all this out. It will do this. Yesterday, I did a prompt yesterday. It took 10 minutes for it to finish my prompt. This one's a little bit faster, right? It's a little bit faster today, right? So here are some things, right? Toasted ravioli, St. Louis style pizza, slingers, gooey butter cake, right? And then what ice cream flavor ideas were inspired by St. Louis? So we have a gooey butter swirl. That doesn't sound bad. Now, the toasted ravi crunch, toasted ravioli swirl.
Gooey butter squirrel. I thought you said
Swirl.
The
Swirl.
rally squirrel.
Yeah.
Swirl. I
That's
talk
sorry.
really fast,
Oh,
so
that's
I will
all
slow
right.
down. Yeah, it's
I
swirl.
was just imagining it.
Is that the rally swirl? You said
Yeah,
rally
yeah,
swirl, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here it gave us some different ideas, right? And you can really put in a really long prompt, right? And so I had a prompt that I'm going to also have the researcher do for me. I'm going to say develop and launch a unique market-ready ice cream flavor, given it a due date by August. That's the wrong prompt. Let me go back. That's my different prompt. I'm going to tell it, in addition to the flavors and what St. Louis is famous for, I'm going to also ask for some information about reviews from current local ice cream places, right? And I wanted to look at customer reviews and provide a summary of top sellers. I'm going to go ahead and send that. Okay, so I'm having a researcher go and do some of these things for me. All right. So now I'm going to jump back over. So that's my demo plan there for what our initiation phase will happen. Now, as it's doing my research, my planner, I'll check on my planner here in a minute. I'm going to go now into stage 2. Stage 2 of plant project management is really planning, right? And this is where you develop your project plan, you assign tasks, you perform some research. And again, the Microsoft 365 planners, basic, premium, and premium with project manager. This is a screenshot of all what we just saw in real life, except here, there's that third flavor that I was talking about. I think that premium one is if you have a project license assigned to you, you get that third flavor premium, okay? Because Microsoft is taking Planner and Project, merging the two of them together. So the project application that we're all used to using, if you're a project manager, is really getting phased out. Okay, so this premium plan, I do not have a project license in my demo environment. So that's why I didn't see that when we went to that screen and I created a new planner. Okay. This table, I am not going to read to you. Okay, this really just shows that there are differences. You actually have this in the handout. that we provided for you, and you can digest that later, right? But this just shows that every plan, you have a basic plan. Then if you go to the premium, it adds a little bit more. And then if you go to the premium plus project manager, AI, the agent will be in that third column. So you can digest that a little bit later. Now, the planner. Let's talk about that basic features of the planner. And this is where you can start to manage task and basic project management, right? And so, and it integrates with what you are called. Anybody use to-dos besides Becky? Becky lives by to-dos. You live by to-dos? Yeah. Yeah. I have a plan. I have an, but I try to be like the savvy people and use the to-dos also. Okay. So planner is actually integrated with your to-dos. To-dos you usually find in Outlook, right? There's a to-do task. Well, that is integrated with planner. And then your plans that we will create are integrated in your to-do list as well. Okay. And then Becky's going to show this, but you can actually take the My Day and organize your task and put them into My Day, and then you can organize your own work. So the basic features of this planner is really not about project management only. It's about managing tasks, because if I have a project plan here in planner, I have some emails I need to follow up on. I have my own to-do list that I have where I'm going to put my own task in. How do I organize all of that? Planner brings that together for you to organize all of it. Because I'm like, where do I go to get the information? Because there's so many places. Okay. This is what a planner, basic planner looks like. Okay. If you look at it here on the side, you have planner, you have the My Day, you have my task, my plans, my portfolios. And then over on the side, you have these cards. Every card is a separate task that you can click on. So this here, I'm actually showing you my planner, a screenshot of mine. All of those red things means that I need to go update my planners because it's past due. I'll get there, Dania. I will. Almost. Okay. So Becky, I would like for you, can you want to just show your screen?
I can't, I have to be jacked in.
All right.
Unfortunately, because I cast it.
Can you just share your screen on the Teams?
Oh, yes, I sure can.
Okay. So here at Savvy,
Again, so many
They
options.
should be able to see it though. Well, yeah, if you show your team.
so here at Savvy, what we use planners for is actually, we use it for our sales process. Because we haven't invested in a CRM package yet, because there's 5 of us, 4 of us, right? So we use it for our sales process. We also create different projects for client work. When we have bigger projects, we'll create a separate planner. So we use it to manage client work as well.
So I think the first thing I'll say about the, can you guys hear me online?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to speak loudly. So sorry for the people in the room that I'm speaking abnormally.
You're yelling at me.
Now she's screaming.
That's right. Oh, good point.
That is our thing.
So I'll say that we really have, just to let you guys know, I know everybody that's joined is in different places in project management journeys, but the first thing is before you automate a business process, you have to have a business process, right? And that's what Teresa's going through, describing right now, in terms of, your project phases and whatnot. For us, we started out with saying, okay, what what small process what are we building a process for? So for instance, as we were, we have different product offerings. So we decided that we would come up with sort of a template punch list in Planner. So we basically said, here's, if we're doing a intranet build out, these are the steps for the build out. If we're doing a Teams migration, these are the steps for Teams. And so we had sort of so we have a delivery team that is just sort of the template where we keep our template plans. And then when it's time to have a new client, then we will go in and we will copy those plans into the different client plans. And so, sorry, hang on, I'm trying to jump back into the meeting here. So, so again, we have, so for instance, if we go into HCBT, since you said I hope it's okay to share, this is our internal task here. So essentially, now you can view the planner as either a grid or a board. And again, I think we'll go into, buckets. Are you going to demo sort of buckets and stuff like that and all that? Okay, I don't want to go too much into how planner works itself, but just to point out that for different teams, so for us, every client we have, we create a different channel for different kind of projects we're doing for them. And so that's how we build out our project teams. Now, we did sort of make the decision to create one planner task list because I just was like, our projects don't necessarily have so many tasks that we need a different plan for every single project, but we could. But we just sort of have one, but you can pin it to different teams. But the idea then is whenever we have a project, then we will dive into how we will assign tasks. If I back up a little bit though, that was where we kind of started, but then we got to the point where we were like, okay, we've got client management tasks. In terms of, did we, have you sent out I'm trying to do too much, I'm trying to click and talk at the same time. So like, we have Christmas presents, like surprise if you're a new client, you're getting a Christmas present. So Jamie does a good job of making sure she goes in and says, hey, we have a current address. Is it, during COVID, are you working from home or in an office? Where should we mail it? It's perishable, right? And so some of these are those kind of tasks, but then it's also like, okay, we have contracts that need to be renewed at various times. And so then we also have, before that, as Teresa talked about, the sales process. So that's account management. And that's when we go in and say, all right, who have we talked to? Who are we waiting to hear back from? Who do we have a contract with? And we just want to touch base. So the client management is more like a legal kind of things. Whereas the account management is sales. But then once we actually have a project, that's when we get into the project plan, right? So I'm just saying for us, we had to really think through, we had sort of a lot of internal conversations about where does one plan end and the other one begin? Especially because we're a small business and we kind of all our hands are in all the cookie jars. And so it sometimes feels like a lot of work to create these in different spots, but our thinking was, if we eventually start to separate these out into different roles, one role is administrative, we have a sales team member, what do they need access? And then if we get into people that are doing the project delivery, they don't need access to the sales or the legal stuff, they only need access to their project team. So I'm just saying in terms of learned experience, I would say we really had to define for each other what goes in this list, because originally the sort of the push and the pull is why do we have so many places to go? Why can't we just have it one spot? And I'm just saying that's a healthy debate. Like anything in governance, there's increased complexity, but is that better if you want to pull stuff out, right? So anyhow, that's sort of how we go about it. So we sort of function off of multiple lists. And then of course we have different plans just for very sort of mundane stuff. So for instance, we are we do have woman-owned business certification. So if we go into like our state certifications, we're registered in Illinois and Missouri, because we have an office here in Illinois. And you get in a municipal, it's like, okay, we have to renew for the city of St. Louis, and we have our women business certifications, et cetera. So Jamie's created these different task lists and she'll assign it to me, and you can make tasks recurring. So every year when we have to remember to do this or do that, it's incredibly helpful because you can really, this is why I say, because we wear so many hats, this is how I remember to do everything every day. I mean, honestly, so what?
So if you go to planner, right, that's really the one place where it all comes together. Because even though those task lists are in different teams and different channels, she can see all of them by going into planner here.
So if we go into my plans, you can see these are all the plans that I'm a member of. Most people wouldn't be a member of this many, but because I'm the owner, I have visibility to everything. So sometimes when we're talking with businesses, depending on your role in the company, some people say, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But then you have to, like, that seems too much. But you have to remember, most folks, generally speaking, aren't going to be a member of everything. And the whole purpose behind teams is you only see what you need to see, right? So if we go into my tasks, that's where we can go in and we can see what tasks have been assigned to me. You can go into that view. And then when you go into a task, you can do things like add it to my day. So if I go and I say, add that task to my day, it now shows up in my day view. And so I can see what's due. I will say, so this app is called the To-Do app. This is the app that I heavily use. Unfortunately, I talked with the Microsoft product managers at Microsoft, and they're basically not investing anything and gonna make it go away, which I don't know how I will function anymore when that happens. Because the thing that I love about it is this is, again, getting into personal management. This is where all those tasks that have been assigned to me, it combines, if I can zoom in. On the left side, it's basically, I can see what has been assigned to me in Planner, or what's scheduled, what's planned, flagged emails, and personal tasks. And so this is where, if you, back in the day, you use Outlook and you were able to like flag an email, right? I now make sure that all my emails have a date on it. So that, because what happens is the secret sauce to me is the suggestions on the right side. The suggestions will say, what are just straight up tasks that I've entered? What are emails that I've flagged that need follow-up? What are tasks that have been assigned to me? And it basically says, which tasks did you enter recently? So maybe you want to do it. The first thing up there is, what are the things you put on yesterday and you didn't get to? What are the things that are due? And then down here, like Teresa, unfortunately, I always have the overdue tasks. So anyhow, this is just a way of basically being able to say, so for me personally, how do I manage all that's been assigned to me? And you can drag and drop, the order of it. You can star them to say this is important, that kind of thing. And what I love is their list. So instead of just having one big list. So for instance, my weekly tasks, these are things like exercise, and I can make them recurring. I have personal tasks, and the business tasks are just miscellaneous that I need to do. I have a flow that creates a task every time someone logs a help desk ticket, so I know to do it. So the point is most of us, even if we use flagged email, it's just all sort of unsorted, right? You can have a flagged view, but this is where, especially because we have multiple clients, there have been times where I would say, so if you're doing project management, you can categorize them, but again, these are private tasks. This is different than planner. This is like private task management. So okay, so that's just a way of basically saying that's how we do it at Savvy. Is we have the client management, account management, project management, And then you can use those personalized views so each person sees what they want to see. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to show that is also very helpful. I know I also get a helpful email every day. Helpful, if, sometimes it's a little demotivating.
You have something, I know, it's very.
So helpful, I hate it.
Good luck getting them all done.
But I do get a weekly email that says what needs to be done. And from a writing standpoint, I like to call this auto harassment. And so I will just say when we're talking with clients about how to use Planner, I'm just like, there are those times where, you know, like, have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? I said, have you done it? I really, really, really need that thing. The auto harassment means that the email is letting them know they need to do it. Maybe it's one less touch you have to do.
All right, we have a question. Yes, Sherman.
So first of all, thank you for giving support your kitchen and leaving your junk drawer. It takes some
Okay,
time.
can I repeat that in case they didn't hear that? Sherman wanted to make sure that wanted to thank Becky because for showing us the
Kitchen.
kitchen and the junk drawer all together. So,
Speak louder.
okay, perfect.
That was, I didn't want to shout that. So the question is that, Microsoft has done a great job about improving productivity, especially for individuals. That's what you just showed. Now for a group, I've got several people who might be like, they'll do accounting tasks or whatever you have in your business. And they keenly want to see the big picture and all the details. And I think I saw a way to do that. It may not be their tasks, right? But they want to see what everyone else is doing, make sure that we're doing their stuff, right?
So Planner is tied to the team.
Right.
So this is one of the number one things that all my clients have said, and Microsoft is working on it. But people want to have that 1,000-foot view, but it's sort of like saying, why can't I see all the teams? Well, you're only a member of some of the teams, well, I want to see everything. That's where they came up with like the shared channels, but unfortunately what people want is sort of paradoxical. I mean, like it's either one or the other, either you see them or you don't. So right now, they have a view where you can create a personal portfolio, but all it does is create a workup flow on the back end that synchronizes everything.
Okay.
There really isn't a portfolio view, but I believe they're working on it. Have you seen Rob or Teresa? I feel like I've heard that.
Yeah.
So it's like the biggest need to be able to track things across project because Microsoft Project did that. It's just the conundrum they're trying to get is that how do you have secure things and aggregated? But if they are a member of all of those and you go to my plan, you will see all of them.
Okay. Thank you. And then I know that when we had our own session about creating a portal, that for the time being, we can have Copilot help us write a summary and put that on a portal. So people can't see real-time details, but they at least can see how they've been working on it the last week or the last month.
You
right?
can create a sharing link to a plan that's read-only.
Oh, okay. And that's all we would need, I think.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's not the aggregated view where show me every single project across the organization, but if you want to go to a view plan, you can create a sharing link to it.
Very good.
All right, we do have a few questions into the chat session, right? And so Angela is asking, can project do process maps? Project has a whiteboard, but I think you're drawing it. Angela, I've never tried it, but yesterday when I was playing with the researcher, it did some graphing for me and some charting. So I'm wondering if the researcher would be able to do that. Does anybody else know if there's a way to automate process maps? Is there another application I'm not thinking about? It has to be a Microsoft application, no Monday.coms or anything.
Copilot do project roadmaps.
Copilot could do project roadmaps.
I mean, Visio, I think.
Visio.
Microsoft project, like the big one.
Yeah, I would imagine that Visio has Copilot in it. That's another day for me though, to view that. So.
Yeah, I usually use either Visio or more recently Mural, just because it's so easy to share with a
Okay.
team.
Okay. In Visio, has there been Copilots been in Visio? Angela, I don't know if you have Copilot or not.
I haven't checked in Visio, but I would assume so. I have Copilot on everything else in Microsoft.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then Angela, can I get a quote that I don't need to be part of everything? Can you help me with that one, Angela?
No, it was just something that Becky said. She was
Oh,
saying that she has access to everything, but most people don't look like that. And mine absolutely looks like that. So I was just hoping to get a quote like maybe I don't need to be a part of it all.
exactly. Okay, exactly. All right, good. So let's jump back into the presentation, right? So that's how Savvy uses Planner to manage our task. And a lot of times, if you're looking at new Microsoft's new marketing materials that are coming out, it doesn't really just always talk about project management. It talks about work management. That's their new phrase. It's work management. Planner helps you manage your work because it can do all the things that Becky just said. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to go in, like I said, we're going to skip that middle version, the premium version. We're going to go with the more advanced planner. And we're really going to talk about, this is how you use premium planner with project manager. The project manager in the title is AI. There's AI agents called Project Manager. It's the tool that is embedded into Planner. We're going to talk about that, right? AI capabilities in project management. There are a whole bunch of different AI things that are being put in there. The project manager is a group of agents, right? Those agents can help you automate status reports. They can help you. Copilot's integrated everywhere within inside of this as well. And they also have a new feature called whiteboarding with Copilot capabilities inside of it. So it's some cool things that we can look at.
That's
Yes.
separate than the whiteboard that you get with a team with a meeting.
It's inside a planner. So I'm going to say, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's something different.
Yeah. So I don't actually know, though, if Planner is going to replace that whiteboard or if the whiteboard's going to be different. And I haven't looked at the other whiteboard to see if it has the features that I saw in Planner.
Right.
I'll put that on my list to look into. Okay. So let's talk about this project manager, right? And agents. It's not just one agent. There's 42 agents into this project manager, right? So it's a multi-agent system that's working in the background to help you manage projects better, right? If you give your project a goal, project manager will read the goal, will look at the information that you have in your team site, and it will generate all the tasks for the project. Pretty cool, right? All right. It will do work for you. You can assign work to the project manager. The project manager will go do the work. It will put that information into a plan. It will put it into a loop page. You can then ask questions about the work it did. It can regenerate its work. It can do all of those things, right? So it's very collaborative with you. Copilot's integrated, helps everything with your task management. Agents can execute the task. I already mentioned that above. And it will give you real-time updates, meaning that it will send you a message when it's done with work, right? Okay, let's talk more. The thing that we need to remember about the project manager agent, it operates within a specific planner plan. Remember, we went to Teams and we created a Teams for this project, okay? And so this project manager will work only inside that team. So that means it will use the files that you have uploaded into that plan. It will create the task descriptions. It will read what the task descriptions are. It will read when tasks are completed by other people on the team. So it understands the dynamics of what's going on with other people. It understands goals. It understands deadlines. It understands that if you have a task that's dependent on a previous task, but you assigned it to the project manager, it knows to wait until that previous task is completed, right? It puts, again, all of this in loop. All of its work goes into loop and comments, right? So it uses all of those information. It does not search all your team's environments, any other SharePoint site. It only looks at what the files are inside that team site. Now that's a little bit different for us who have been using Copilot, have the paid version. I've been telling people for weeks now, months, oh yeah, it searches everything in Microsoft 365. This project manager agent does not. It's encapsulated into teams. So it's important to know that. And I'll show you an example of that. It's context aware. It understands the goals, right? It won't pull unrelated data. You have to manually include that information. And the visibility is when the project manager does work, it will put it in loop. Inside loop, everybody can read it. So it's very open and visible for everybody to see, right? Because we're all a team and we all want to collaborate on the information together. So the visibility is there. So here are some best practices when you're going to use the project manager, right? You're going to set clear goals. You're going to put in a good goal statement so that it understands what the good tasks are that it needs to create, right? You're going to put all of the information, the files inside your teams before you create the goal. Now I'm going to show you the reason why you're going to do that, because it will, what that is, right? If you're going to create effective tasks, meaning that you're going to use very descriptive task titles and notes. Make sure that you say, summarize, that you have include the context, expectation, and any constraints. So for instance, the example there is, I want you to summarize the Q2 sales from the attached Excel file. So you give it that information so it knows specifically what the task is, right? And we all know, right? The more specific you're with Copilot, the better the outcome of Copilot works. Using the feedback loops, right? Again, we talk about the loop components. This is where you're going to tell it to revise work. Keep the conversation in iteration within tasks. Continue to have those conversations about what the tasks are. You can assign due dates and priorities. Is it really hot in here? Is it me?
It is.
Whew.
Yeah.
Hi. It's good on that side? Wow.
I think it's.
I'm going to get a drink. All right. It almost was like a commercial.
How about the product placement?
Microsoft is paying for the slide? No, just kidding. Okay, managing deadlines and priorities, right? And conducting regular review cycles, right? When we're working with project manager, you as the project manager need to continue to make sure things are going on. So it's not like I'm giving everything to Copilot and project management's done. You have to stay in that loop. Okay, so let's jump over to my project plan. I'm going to jump back into Teams. Okay, in my ice cream, right, we have flavors. I have a research report. Is it still doing that? See, this is where it kind of hangs up on me. I love live demos, love them. Let me see if I go back. Okay, I go to flavors, research report. Almost ready. Okay. So we didn't give it a goal yet, right? No, we did not. Right. And so here it gives us a specific goal. This one, or an example of a goal, right? Complete a research report on the life cycle of the great white shark. I'm actually going to pick my own goal. I would never be able to type that entire prompt live. So I always copy and paste my prompts, right? I'm actually going to say, I want to develop and launch a unique market-ready ice cream flavor by August 15th that aligns with the current consumer trends, meets dietary preferences, and is ready for pilot production and market rollout. Okay, so that's a pretty specific goal. I'm going to just go ahead and say, yep, that's my goal. Generate all my tasks that I need to go with that goal. And then it's going to go through and it's going to create a bunch of tasks for me. Oh. You can. It should work pretty fast. It wasn't
It
this.
can't be done by August.
That's approved by Deb.
It does, right? Does, right? Okay, and so now it has all of these tasks. It went through and it created, do some market research, brainstorm, develop unique ice cream flavors, do a taste test, right? Finalize the recipe, prepare the pilot production, develop marketing strategy, and launch the new ice cream flavor on the market. Okay, so it gave us a good flow, a good beginning point of what that is. But remember, we said project manager understands what we're doing. And if we change our mind, we can make it regenerate information. Because we're not doing this for all markets. We're doing it for the St. Louis market. So I'm going to say I'm going to add St. Louis market ready ice cream. I'm going to regenerate the task. So I set up my goal here, doing my planning, and it should come through and it should give me, it will now regenerate that. I should have probably changed August 15th too. We'll see here what it goes. I'm taking my watch off. Somebody else is going to have to tell me time. My kids want to talk now. I don't know why.
Because you're busy. You're on the phone.
That's a live demo.
It is. It is. Okay. So now it did take my task and it's now put St. Louis in my task about what it is. Okay. I'm going to show you one more thing here. I'm going to kind of jump into the, but I'm going to go to my board. The board is just a way that you organize your task. Anybody familiar with Kanban? Is it Kanban? Kanban? Okay. You know how like you have different columns of tasks that you can drag the thing from one to another? Beautiful. So like a lot of times I have tasks that says unassigned, assigned, completed, right? And you can create these different buckets up here at the top. For instance, here, what I want to say is this project manager I can assign a task to. So I want the project manager just to assign this information. I'm going to just go ahead and plop that over there. Look, one move, right? It's working on it. It's telling me that it's working on. Everybody see that? Right? So this whole market research, I want the project manager to do it. I'm like, this is going to be cool. I might want to be a project manager.
Copy, like kids better.
Answer my kids. Okay.
So in this comment here with the columns,
Uh-huh.
is there only one that says assigned to project manager as opposed to assigned to another? That's why you don't want to be a project manager?
This one here is specifically set up for the project manager.
Okay.
In your plan, you can create whatever columns you want. Okay, so if this project manager at any point of that doing research needed input from me, it would have flipped that card into need your input. Right, so it would have placed it here in this column, need your input. And it would have waited for me or somebody to answer the question it needed. Okay, but this project manager was pretty smart and says, okay, I'm done. I know it's done because I got an activity that says it's ready to be reviewed. Everybody loves activities, right? Nothing like very confusing, right? But then I click on that activity and all of a sudden it says, okay, here's what you asked me to do. It comes in, it tells me here, this is when I did it. Here's my latest status. And here is to conduct market research to identify current, oh, wait a minute. It didn't do the market research, did it? It's telling me how to do the market research. Microsoft Planner or Project Manager agents, if it doesn't have enough information, it will tell you how you can do the steps yourself. So it's telling me how I could go do that market research. But wait, we did research, right? Everybody remember we did research earlier?
Research agent.
We did. I'll go back to my research report here. Up here in the research report, I have these 3 dots, and here I'm going to go to loop. Okay, I don't want to log in at the moment because it will be an issue. It will take me steps. So I'm going to figure out another way of doing this. Okay, so for Copilot, remember we did research. We had research over here. We did a correlated list, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this information. I'm going to copy it. And I think I'm going to put it in a Word document. Word. You could copy this to Loop as well. I'm sorry about this. I stopped sharing because I'm on. Yeah, I know what happened. So I have a demo environment, but I have to be in the meetings for Becky, and now I'm cross tenants and it's confused. This doesn't happen in real life.
This is where the human in the loop aspect.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and I think I'm back in business. I think. Share my screen. That screen. If I go here and I go into Loop, which is another way of getting there. I think I can get to loop this way. Okay. If I would have put that research into the team environment in some way, right? I should put it in my loop pages. I'm having login issues here to get into that. But if you would put that in that loop page, then you reran that research. You tell Copilot, you tell the project manager agent to do the research. It will look at that information and then provide that research back to you. Okay. So that's how that should have worked. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over here into my project plan. We're going to execute tasks, right? This is the execute stage. We are accomplishing tasks. We're having project meetings, right? We are collaborating. We're getting things done. And inside of this, we're going to use the project manager planner, right? We're using Teams and we're using Microsoft Loop. That's the information that we're using. Okay. I thought you were asking a question. You asking a question?
No, I was. It really is cooler.
It really is if you're hot.
Can we can we add the air conditioning? Okay.
Yeah, it says a little knob on the. Yeah, or two.
Okay. Okay. I'm now going to move into that whole, I'm moving to a new team, right? Because this team is my demo team. It's got the same information. I just showed you how to create the project plan. In this team, I have my files. I did a competitive study. I have ice cream sales information. Yes, I used the analyst to do that for me, right? And so I have that information here. I also have a workspace for Loop, right? And so I could have created this page here and added St. Louis is famous for, go back to Copilot here. I'm going to add this information into my Loop page. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm probably making everybody a little bit dizzy there. I'm going to go back to chat. So I'm adding that information into my team. Now, if I go to, this is the project plan that it created for me before. If I go back to the board, and now I say, let's create let's perform a risk assessment. I don't want to do that one. Let's pick a different one. Let's pick the project manager. I'm going to tell it to develop a marketing strategy. And it's going to go through now. And then when we look at the content that it did before, so like, we'll see how that's going to work through there. Does anybody, do you guys have official project managers within your group? I know McCarthy does. You guys have?
Washu does, yeah.
Washu does? In the IT group? How about online? Online, do you have official project managers in your area?
No, not for Lake Keble.
No. Walker does? Good. Okay.
Use this with this, but if you are managing a project into a digital mandate. Does this work as well?
That is a great question. I would think you would be able to use all of the AI features, but I don't know if they would.
Generally,
Spreadsheet.
if I'm running a project that I have internal candidates.
You can use it for both.
Yeah, like, so can I create a planner that, obviously my internal team has access to it, but can my external team have access as well to where they are knowing what's assigned to them and what?
They have to be invited as external users.
If they invite as guests, right?
Yeah.
And oh, I've done it before with, BJC, the hospital system, closely associated with WashU, teaching hospital, people work on the same floor. So we talk with their IT people and have been included in their planners before, and we've used them to go through. So yeah, the key really is just to be invited as a guest, right? And as long as they're invited into the team, right, then they can use the planner as well.
But I don't know if they would be able to use the project manager
Probably not the project manager.
unless they have a co-pilot license, but I don't know how that would work.
Actually,
That's.
right, yeah, I don't think so. I doubt they would be able to use it. I know that anytime I tried AI features like in the meetings, that are hosted by other organizations, I've not been able to do that. Yeah. And I think that the project manager AI is not a Microsoft 365 Copilot licensing, but a P3 or P5 licensing, at least what I've been seeing if the AI is not hallucinating.
Yeah. Angela from McCarthy on the line said that it does depend on the licensing.
Yeah.
On how that works.
And this is sharing, just so you know, sharing external users, there's like 5 different places to set that, right? From the tenant level down to the individual site. So if you can't do it, it might just be that you need help getting one of those places turned on. Yeah.
All right. So what that whole long drawn out process there was to tell you that if you did assign the project manager a task such as research or here is a marketing strategy, right? And you had the information in Teams for it to look at, what it brings back to you is not how you do the market research or marketing strategy. It comes with, it interprets that and it gives you the market strategy.
So it's giving you value add. It's not just spitting it back to you, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, it's always going to give you an answer. But if you give it the right information in that environment, it will create that for you. Okay, so then this is how that appears in that loop.
What's our flavor? What's our flavor?
Yeah.
Ah,
I want to know if it just keeps telling you it's 90% done. Let's make 96.
I don't think it is yet. But you know what? Let's go ahead and play with this because you wanted to play with it, right? Let's use the new feature of the whiteboard. And as you can see, it comes in and it has Copilot built into it. So let's go ahead and suggest. What do we want to suggest with the name? What flavor it is?
What flavor they recommend?
Okay. Kim, I don't know if I've done all the steps for it to know that. Let's come up with, let's create some creative, let's do some brainstorming around creative names that we could tell, that we could market a flavor after, right? So let's do that. So we can say here is, we need to brainstorm You know what? I'm going to see if it just does it automatically without telling it. So I'm going to go ahead now in Copilot. If I want Copilot to help me start brainstorming, I could just click on that item. I tell it what I'm trying to brainstorm, and it starts creating those for me. right? And then if we click those in the insert, right? It added those into Post-it notes for me. So now we can't just have Copilot do everything. We can't just have the project manager do everything, right? Sorry, so give me some names. Somebody give me a name.
Blueberry.
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 Ooh. What is it?
Blueberry. Blueberry. Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, okay. Here's a LOU.
That's rather private.
That's the unusual. That's right.
Does anybody online have a name that we can put in here? Any suggestion? Is there anything in the chat? Okay, somebody else give me another name.
That's the one I was waiting for with the toast grab.
Okay. Okay. Emo's craft, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Caramel blonde.
Yeah, because Provel was meant to be roasted.
That's right.
Muddy Mississippi.
Ooh, yeah.
I find that.
Caramel blonde.
That was a co-pilot.
Muddy Mississippi. MIS, that's IIEI. Yeah,
Were you singing the song?
I was trying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have different ones there. So now we have a bunch of them, right? And what else can Copilot help you do? It can help you categorize them. So let's see how it categorizes these Post-it notes. Because before, when we did whiteboards, right, you'd have to then go, hey, everybody move your Post-it note into the right section, right? And how cool is that? Right? It automatically just categorizes it. Very cool, right?
You even made them different colors.
It did. Didn't do.
Yes, because.
And I didn't like that idea.
Yeah, it's covering it up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it didn't do that.
This is why we need to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
Seriously.
It's throwing us a bone.
Okay, so we went through and it categorized it, and you know what? Here, I'm terrible at documentation, right? Let's go ahead and have it create a summary of what it is that we tried to do. So it would take our initial prompt, it would take the information that we put out there, it put the categories in it, and now what did it create? Anybody know what this is called, right? Look, it's called this, it's a loop component, right? So like this loop component, it's going to give me an error. You could also take this and you could say, you know what, I want to send this to my external marketing company that says, here are all of my different flavors, do some work. I could take that loop component and copy and paste it into my email and have it send it.
And then the marketing company puts their ad
Right? Okay, so now the whiteboard, that's kind of cool, right? That works, and AI is built into it. It will make brainstorming even more fun. Gooey Louie Blonde.
Losing external people is challenging. Yeah, it's because loops go in different places. They're starting to become putting teams that were in OneDrive. And you couldn't invite people, just like whiteboard external people. Now you can invite people, but it's just weird sometimes for people trying to use.
From our previous conversation, it sounds like in months. They're working on this.
Yeah.
So I'm not building too much yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. So it's just like waiting for features like facilitator. Like we saw it in a meeting, but we can't get to it. Yeah.
It's in our meeting right.
Yeah, but eventually that will save you time.
Yes. Yeah. And look for public preview too. If you probably understand it, that helps you get some things as well. I know that's true with the agenda and notes thing, like collaborative notes. It's not if you can yet, but actually I don't think it's any. I think it's preview everywhere.
Has anybody online used Loop? Thumbs up, yes, no, maybe. thought about it? No?
I've tried it, but because it's an additional app, I've found that it's challenging for other folks to loop in. So I end up just kind of doing a copy paste typically.
Got it. Yeah, I'm struggling with it. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm really kind of struggling with Loop. I keep trying to make us do it internally, and they're like, "Wait a minute, we use OneNote for that." And I'm like, "But OneNote, I heard, might go away someday, and you might use the Loop for that." And then you're kind of like, "Ugh." So
Again, my understanding right now is basically Loop components are tied to OneDrive accounts, like individuals, and they have to figure it out. So even that's sort of what you're struggling with is when you add it to a workspace, it's still in your account, it's your sharing.
That's changing too, though, Becky. I have started to see Loop components end up in Teams, and they don't.
So they're getting there.
They're slowly getting there, yeah.
Basically, when I was out at Microsoft, what Sherman's referring to is they alluded to the fact that Loop is built on the headless UI SharePoint.
Yeah.
And so you already have a SharePoint team site. They have this new product offering that's like the guts of SharePoint without the web page on the front end. And that's where Loop is stored. So it's all the underpinnings, but Loop is like the front end. You know what I mean? So they're trying to figure out how to have that group membership. So once that gets there, I think what everybody's saying is the sharing scenarios in Loop is what makes it really goofy. And once that gets more solidified, that it's in the team just like a file, I think then it will all make a lot more sense.
all right. Okay, so the whiteboard was really cool. Now, let's move on to, we are in our meetings, right? We're doing this, we're initiating, we're doing status reports, we're working our plan, right? And so those status reports, how fun are those? But now you can use the planner and project manager to help you create the status reports. So if I go to reports, this is my project plan, right? I'm going to say get started. It asks how long do I want to do the report period? What am I reporting on? So if you're doing monthly reports, I'm going to pick last month, right? So it's going to go back and it's going to search everything on my planner and in my files and in my comments and in my conversations and talk about and start summarizing all that information for me. Then I could go, well, what should your status report cover, right? And so here you could put things in like, need a status report that highlights that we are on task and that we are due. So you could say that, right? You could also go write the status report. Please make this status report friendly, or please focus on the past due task. Okay. Please focus on, I know I was trying to be positive. And project management is hard. Please focus on the past due task and ask for management to provide assistance. Right? And so now tell it what to do, right? And let's see what it generates for me. So I generated again. It is now going to create this status report. Now, when I was watching Ignite in November, and they kind of was playing with announcing planner at this time, they said you could email these because, we still all have to email the status reports, right? But I haven't been able to figure out how to do it. So I would copy and paste it again. I think it's, again, one of those things it's on the roadmap, but it's not quite here yet, right? And so here we go. It's creating, it's working. This works faster with you not on, I don't know, work faster at home.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's faster.
I feel like Teams slows everything down. I'm on a Teams meeting, like everything.
Yes.
Very true.
That is.
That's probably very true. Very true.
I was gonna.
That's where I was going.
Yeah. I find you're really fast. We're on
Okay.
the main pipeline. Yeah. So when you're here, it's super fast.
All right.
As we discovered the blood client during migration.
So it will create the status report for you, and it does create like charts and things like that inside of this for you to And how great is that? Because some people are getting status reports from me, don't have charts, right? They just don't. But here's a copy of what the status report said. The young is currently at risk due to several overdue tasks, significant delays in key areas. Oh my God. That sounds like you wrote it. Right? And it, right? So it took on the tone that I told it to take on, because that's what I wanted it to do. I could still continue to blow smoke and say, nope, everything's great. And it would create that, right? But it does give you some completion charts, gives you some key milestone dates, right? And it tells me all of the stuff that I've done. It says possible next steps, due dates, right? And it does just giving me a status report that would have taken me hours to do, right? So I complained that it was slow, but like in theory, let's think about it, right? That would have taken me hours to do a status report like that.
Angela said that she uses updates for status reports because it allows her to schedule updates and assign who will get the update each time.
What is updates?
Angela, can you help us with what is updates?
Another app inside Teams. So I've done a
Oh,
lot of hunting and pecking and finding. And it's pretty cool because you can set up different projects similar to what you have in Planner. And then you can schedule like, hey, I need to do an update on this once a week or once a month, whatever it is. And then you can predetermine what are the questions that you want to ask. Are you on time, behind, blah, blah, blah. And then you can predetermine like who gets that. Once you complete your update, you can attach files and whatever else to it. Once you hit complete on it, it automatically goes out through Teams to whomever you've assigned to that specific project. And you can actually assign those to other people for them to provide you updates at whatever frequency too, if there's specific questions you want to ask.
very cool. Anybody else know that was there? All right. Is this the one that I have pulled up? Is this the one
Yep.
that you used? Okay, there you
Yep.
go. Yeah, I did not.
And also
use-
it looked like in your planner where you were just doing your update, it looked like there was an option to send the newsletter.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so when I played with that newsletter thing, it put it in SharePoint. I was like, okay, now I'm really confused why it's bringing SharePoint in, because everything was supposed to go in Loop, but now it's a file in SharePoint. And so that's what it did with that.
That might be their workaround for people that don't have Loop downloaded.
Sure. Good point. Okay, I'm going to get into 15 minutes here, right? Like in all demos, I always like talking. I'm going to move on to charts. So they have some charts that built in here where you can use some of those charts also, right? And then I think that was all I wanted to show you within the planner, right? For budget, what I would use for budget is like you could go over here, right? At any time, you can pop Copilot out and you could go over here and ask, how does the budget look like? And they will give you, how does the budget look? I don't know if my planner has anything good that this is going to give me anything positive about that. But it talks, it's currently in see, it's the answer it gave you. I don't have enough data for that to be a good prompt to provide I don't have a budget. Love it. Somebody tell my husband.
Yeah.
Somebody please tell my husband. Okay, but you can always bring Copilot back in and ask questions and it will work through that as well at any time.
I know traditionally Microsoft hasn't been that strong on resource management. Does this have any sort of resource management?
Meaning what? Help me out that.
People assigning resources to tasks and how many hours it should take them. And then getting a view of, it does. It does it? Okay. And you don't have to sideline from the answers.
No, that's okay. So every one of these, so that's a good point. And I should have probably mentioned this earlier. When you move from like a plan, a basic planner, to the premium, and the premium with the project manager, what I'm showing you, those project tasks, such as resources, right? Your effort depends on your dependency, your budget. It should have that information inside here. So if I said that I took 3 hours, 4 hours of that time, it would have updated that information. I don't think I see it because I'm the only person in this plan. So I don't have that option to add other people because I'm a one-person shop in this demo.
So Microsoft Project became morphed into this, is that correct?
Correct.
And so I guess a question is it better or worse at tracking resources than Microsoft Project has been? Because if it's on par with that, that's a decent starting place, but they need to improve that. If you're, I have a small shop, so I'm not worried, but when I worked in corporate world, it was bigger and it was a headache. And most of the times for small projects, people just said, I'm gonna do by hand.
Yeah.
But now with the project manager agent and all these other things, it seems like Microsoft should be evolving that.
I would think so. You hit project manager, right?
Yeah.
Project managers, do you know the answer to that? And yeah, Becky, you can take over this.
Go ahead, Becky.
No, you can answer the question. I was just.
Yeah, so I know that the resource management is really like tracking the costs, trying to see who's over allocated, all that kind of stuff. And I've not seen that in Planner yet, and Planner Premium either. I know you can set up dependencies, things like that, assign tasks. But tracking costs, I've been looking at that, there's the old, I say old, it's over 20 years old, the Project Online, right? It was called Project Web Access, Project Online. You could work with your project, they call it Project Online Professional now, which is the client app, right? That allows you to set up all the dependencies, the challenges, how you make them work together when you have multiple projects, all that stuff. And so I don't think they quite have the cost part of it as down with the newer tools as they do with that older tool, but I think they are getting better with it.
Is this project for the web right here?
One more time.
Is this project for the web or is this Planner?
This is Planner.
It says project.
No, it's Project for the Web.
And
yeah,
the project for the web is gonna go away.
Yeah, that one's going away in August is what I was told. And I've been doing a lot of work on trying to make that, figure out what that means for people, because we have 860 projects out there that people have used or created, and how will that behave in the new Planner world? And anyway, they should work fine. If you have a bunch of projects for the web, they're available in Planner now with last year's updates to Planner. So they should be visible there. I haven't seen them show up in Teams, like you can add a Planner to Teams, and I've not seen my project for the web one show up there, but I've been working with a Microsoft support person and he said they should be there. So that should be an easy transition if you're using Project for the Web right now.
Yeah, I only ask because historically, and I wondered where they were going with this, Microsoft Project was a little weaker on resource management tools than other competitors. And that's why the Monday.coms of the world started really, I think it's one of the key reasons why people abandoned it. So I hope they know that there should be reason to get that improved.
And that's where I think this goes back to the other issue I was just saying about plans are fundamentally tied to a Microsoft 365 group. So the whole thing about resource management is you're tracking people across plans. But there is no way to view all the plans if you're not a member of that team. So how does a project manager see the projects that they're not actually a member of, get visibility to? So I think that's the rub.
And there's a portfolio tool within Planner. I haven't used it to see.
Let me say, if you do it, all it does is create literally, it's a personal view. And all it does is literally creates Power Automate workflows that copy task status onto it. I think it's a very janky thing.
Yeah.
Teresa, you still have a couple little, some more left.
Just a few more things. Okay, no, that's okay. So we went through stage 4 there. We are monitoring, controlling, sending tasks, monitoring, sending status reports, right? And then if you're going to close the project, if this is where you're archiving your data, right? The project documentation, right? So you could go into your project plan here. You could archive that team, right? And you can make that a read-only site, right? So that's how you would then, one, how do I get through all of my teams? There are so many teams out there. You have to start making a practice of archiving things and hiding them so that people, for it to go away, right? So you want to make sure that those go away. So you could archive your team. And then, you know, that final stage, you always want to celebrate, right? So my I.Scream
We're going to.
project was great. Please list 15 expensive celebrations
Hey,
for our group, right? And so you always use Copilot to help be a little bit more creative. There we go. Private yacht party. I'm there. I am there, right? So you could still use it to help you in those scenarios, right? Anybody use this Copilot chat screen?
yeah, this morning.
Yeah, I do this every day, right? Like, hey, where am I at on this project? So I could type here, what is the project update on Yum? I think it was called Yum Project. Right? And see if it find it on, because my test demo was called the Yummy Project. It's the project status is at risk, right? But if you go to that Copilot chat every day, that's when it starts looking at your whole ecosystem. So if I wanted to go, what were the emails that I received last week? Or what are my posts, my tasks that are super past due? I could tell it to do that. I could say, help me organize my day. And it would go through all those environments and bring the information to you. Love Copilot chat. That's what this is. And that's how you would want to use it inside your environment. So going back to Rob's conversation, right? And we were having, Microsoft project for the web is going away. I am having big issues with my screens. It's going away. It's going to be in August. You probably have more information about it. We can send this link out that says transitioning and what that retiring the official information, right? But it is something that you need to think about if you have plans or projects in your environment.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for action item with that was if you have roadmaps, which are just being able to pull those projects together, kind of creating almost a linked list to your projects that are in different tools, because it will accept tools from Project for the Web, I don't think Planner, but Project Online, Azure DevOps, and you can kind of have a roadmap of things, and that is going away completely. It's not being changed into anything else. And the other thing is, if you have any customizations with Project for the Web, there's a Project Power app that's being replaced with a Planner Power app. It's supposed to happen somewhere between April and September. So those are the two things that I saw were different. But the plans themselves should be available within Planner.
All right, so that gives us 5 minutes before you guys can leave. What was the key takeaway here? Pretty cool.
I do want to ask you, did you have to start with that template of the Plus Project Manager to get that to be in there?
No, you can create a brand new planner with
Any of those templates?
project management.
Yeah.
You can do it from the beginning too.
Gotcha.
So your question was, do I have to create a new one? If I go here to planner, I can up here just create a new one.
And do you have
Without-
to use that option to be able to get project manager?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. If you want all the cool agents things, you need to use the one with the project manager. But you don't have to use a template. I thought that's what your question was.
Yeah, good point.
I used a template because it's easier.
Yeah.
So, okay. What other questions? What do I have online, people? Anybody online have some questions?
Organization is not
Yes.
like on board, or
Right.
maybe not ready to adopt some of these things. I'm just curious for people that work with groups across their organizations.
Yeah.
If you've got your team, you're all set up and you're accessing everything, like how easy is it to work with others that are just not using
Yeah,
this?
that's a good question.
Well, I think that like if you have a small department, you have to start somewhere, right? And so like if you are managing Alexa and I don't know if you have other people, I'm assuming you'll have other people, right? You could start using a process that you do with them and start building a planner for them, right? And just have their task up there, right?
Yeah.
And you could start assigning things. I don't know how you assign things today, but yeah, you could start using it as a department. And then I always am like, oh, those early adopters, then that's how you then get the foothold to go to the next department and say, this is how it's changed my life, right?
Yeah.
Because you can hire Becky, you can hire Savvy, we can come tell you what to do that, but we will also look for those internal people who have done it, just to bring them along with us to say, see, your other people in your company are using it as well.
Yeah, yeah, I think it needs a touch, a gentle touch, right? So that you're not like force it on people. But if you can like pick a project and say, hey, we're gonna try this a little bit differently, and make it easy for them to get to that. Sorry.
So I'm gonna address that. I think in my organization, like I said, it's a lot of 7-year-olds. So everything about Microsoft, it has been difficult. So I'm trying to do the carrot approach. If I show them that I can create the status report every week, and I show them that it took me very little effort, then they'll be motivated to log in and contribute to the system, because I see that it's saving the organization a lot of effort. So I had more than 2 questions. I have 3 questions, but 2 of them are tied together. And when you said that for project management agent, we can upload files, I'm just trying to brainstorm meeting on Teams that produces a transcript and upload the transcript and have the project manager agent use that. And then the second question is similar, which is, can I just use Copilot like you were in the chat box and just say, hey, use this transcript and produce the inputs that project manager agent wants, right? I'm pretty sure that you can refine things, but it was like, can you actually start from the get-go? And I don't expect an answer now, but as soon as I get a chance, I'm trying that because people in my organization love to talk.
Right.
And I end up doing all the writing. And in the last 6 months, I just toss it to Copilot. So.
Yeah. I think what you would want to do, right, is if you're having like meetings, right, if you schedule those meetings from inside your team's environment, right, then, and you use Copilot will do all the transcriptions and all of that. Then you can use the facilitator and Copilot to summarize those meetings for your stuff. And that's what you're working with.
I think a key thing too is we can channel meetings. I don't know if you've done that before.
Yeah, we are in channels.
Excellent. So that, because that way the transcript, the recording, all that goes into the team versus into your OneDrive, right? And
Right.
If you click on coordinate.
And someday, hopefully they'll resolve all that.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the whole channel and scheduling a meeting, I'm in my premium with my Yum project team here. Up at the top, I can go schedule a meeting. Oh, sorry.
Hey, we haven't said you're muted one time in this meeting. Because that's the second thing. The first thing is you're not sharing your screen. The second thing is You're muted.
So right here, you would want to go to here, you could say schedule a meeting. And it will then open how you could schedule a meeting.
And you always, Sherman, when you do yours, you add the channel here, right?
The channel is always there.
Okay,
and
good.
I always have recording and transcribing on.
Yes.
perfect.
And all of
Yeah,
those
to
options.
try and make use of everything that they offer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, perfect.
We tried doing this but there are some limitations of doing it inside the channel. I can't remember what they were or if there's still limitations.
Yeah.
It's the chat. So basically, when you have a meeting inside the channel, the chat is just like a team chat. And if somebody is not technically a member of the team, it goes, you can't chat.
Yeah, that's a key thing.
So if you have external
Chat.
people, it
Right.
doesn't work.
And I've seen external people have problems in channel meetings. They have to actually add it to the channel chat, right, post, get it to show up in the meeting if they're not in the tenant when they go into the meeting. That would run into some weird things. And there are features that aren't available in there, but if they're not featured, if they're featured, you don't use, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to show the facilitator comments real quick on this meeting? I turned it on and I think that's okay too.
Where am I going with that, Becky?
If you go to the expand the meeting, you've got the actual meeting. Yeah, that's that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Just click the icon over there. There you go. Turn on facilitator. So this is facilitator if you guys haven't seen it.
Oh, facilitator throws the notes into the collaborative notes into the loop page.
So it actually doesn't save it unless at the top right, you actually save it. So, so it's creating the notes, the facilitator, yeah, the facilitator is putting in the notes, but it won't actually persist it after the meeting unless you actually say, open in the loop, and then it, so go ahead and say, so now I'm the one who started facilitator, so I think it might be in my loop, possibly.
And that's where it starts getting like,
But it's cool, if you go down to the bottom, I mean, this is a long meeting, if you go to the very bottom, Teresa, can you show the tasks, and it's actually creates the planner tasks. And so again, they aren't necessarily, it's giving suggestions, it won't actually grade them until you actually are like, I mean, you have to save this whole thing, but it creates a plan with this meeting. So that's good and bad, right? Because there are some times where it's like, we started using it amongst our team and we'd be like, oh, we talked about that meeting. And so whenever I saw it popped up though, just like it's my list of all my plans, then it was like, there's a plan called STS Roundtable, June 2025. And you're like, that's not a real plan. And so that's where we had to get very specific about like, okay, if we're creating tasks about a client or project where it belongs in another place, let's not target it here. So in other words, if you're going to use those tasks, that is okay if you really have short-term stuff, like before our next meeting, do this, that, roughed it off the list, good. But if it's part of this overall project plan, if this is a meeting related to a project and you use these tasks in the loop, they're sort of orphaned a little bit, right? So
I'm gonna say that's why the humans in the loop is important, because people wondered, why did we buy 2 Copilot licenses, like, in our organization? Like, that's really expensive. It's $1 a day. Like, we have saved so much money by not having staff write those summaries, the transcripts and so on. And not only that, the humans are more fallible when it comes to having all the details. I'd rather have false details from here and then
delete.
yeah, and I'm doing. So I had this standard set of 6 prompts, and I do it at the end of every meeting. And now I want to get Copilot to actually just do that for me. But what I do is I put all of that in an email summary to everyone who came to the meeting, whether they're technical or not. And I'm saying it's now the responsibility of the business person that wants to that meeting to do their summary, and they're glad to have it. Yeah, right. And that's my way of with the characters trying to ease them into if something that's new and different. Reducing friction. Yeah, so this is taking years. And it'll take more, yeah, but we're making it.
You said you had a couple of questions.
The other question, and I know we're over time, but the other question is that planner, every time I see planner or project manager or anything, it's very much about something that it's an effort that has a start and an end. And a lot of the stuff I do are with standing committees. And so I've looked on YouTube and all of those people who specialize in this, these Microsoft employees, right? They say there's not a real way to do that, but I would love to be able to have that. The only way I've figured it out was just to say, Board of Trustees, project planning for the next year. And just kind of clone what I had in previous years. But
You can create recurring, so you can copy and paste it fast, and then
Right.
you can create recurring.
that's brand new to me today, and that's great.
Yeah.
But I think that by definition, a standing committee doesn't have a goal for a project manager agent to say, oh, no, I take that back. It comes back to you, what you said, we're always 90% done.
Yeah.
That's so I wanted to say that 90% done. Good.
Yeah.
But that's a conundrum that I know has existed, and I know that, I think that after Microsoft gets their infrastructure all settled, so that you can share with the people we need to know. Yeah. That I think you're gonna start working on this, and it's just like a project with the resource management. I really look forward to that day. If Microsoft has come a long way, and for the term work management is new, that's great. That's what they've been doing for the last 3 years. Not project management. It's all the stuff that I spend a lot of time on, and it's not embedded in a platform like the Office or whatever. It's really focusing on how do I get my stuff done? How does my team get their stuff done? And thank you, Becky, for having me.
All right, anything else? I don't know. I didn't ask the question. I should have asked that question. We do appreciate it. And I thank you for being so gracious about my little flubs up here of like, so that didn't quite work the way it is.
That's how you know it's a real life.
I do. And that's like, I could be Microsoft and record things that worked yesterday and show that to you, or we could just fail together. So either way, we're learning something new. Thank you again for coming on behalf of Savvy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Mary, thank you. Everybody else is.
Oh, you're
left.
welcome. Thank you for a wonderful presentation today.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Validation machine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sent you an email this morning.
Enjoy your week. Angela, you can leave your. Sure. Oh, I take you to the right.
Well, thank you. I know. Thank you for coming down. I have a couple of people.
You can just leave your coffee.
Okay. I too. I'm like, huh. I'm always so crazy. Usually all
Nice seeing you on the.
Actually, met in person.
Trying to remember. I was like, I thought.
Nice to meet you. Great to meet you. Great to meet you.
Love the next
Great. So enjoy be back on it. So I say.
So much. I don't know how long you've been, they said about 400.
But there's so much.
Anyway, I was working with a software company that did all their software and hardware, the terminals, with the big tanks. And this person from the software hardware company and from Clarkville had worked together for like 30 years, had never met in person.
Oh, my goodness.
And we started on a project to pull, this was in the late 80s, to pull their equipment out of the 60s, right? They were changing out whole boards and stuff. And they've got to meet for the first time, after 30 years, we started working working on that project. It was pretty neat. Yeah,
Now, I've been in the same for quite a while, and I remember.
yeah. Yeah, it's a shame they were like running out of things now. They were pretty innovative. You know, they sold on the.
Yeah, it's just like-
They sold stuff in cash, upgrade their equipment, but they just made some bad decisions over 20 years. Out of business.
So they qualify as that's why regional or national headquarters went away, is because of that sort of thing. But yeah, I was thinking that compared to 1980, how many national or international headquarters are here and corporate headquarters? Oh, I'm like, oh, it's really good. I feel bad. Just when I realized,
Is that
no,
not changing?
20 years of